Alright, hello everyone. So this is just going to be a quick one again today, probably an unedited one as well because I just want to get home and I've got like stuff I want to do when I get home. But the main thing that I've been thinking basically all of today and all of this week pretty much is obviously UK Champs is right around the corner. I'm leaving tomorrow. This time tomorrow I will be probably halfway to Birmingham, hopefully halfway to Birmingham, you never know. Um, but yeah, what I've been thinking about is that obviously last year I did so much, dedicated practice, targeted practice, really like specific preparations for 5x5. Whereas this year I've kind of spread it out a little bit more. I've been actually practicing other events, obviously since the announcement that FTO is getting added, I've done a lot more FTO practice than I was doing before. I've done a bit more big cubes because, I got really into 7x7 when I got my new cube a few months back. I've obviously done a lot more big blinds because I felt like I had a better shot at a big blind podium this year. And of course, as I've mentioned several times already, I'm not trying to bring it up every time, but I do have a new job. And so I've had a lot less time in general the last few weeks to sort of practice when, maybe before I was hoping that I would have some more time. But basically what this means is I don't feel prepared at all. I don't like to have to say that, and I'm trying to convince myself otherwise. But there is, I think there's always going to be a big part of me that, maybe not a big part, but there's always going to be a decent part of me that feels like I haven't done enough, or that even before when I didn't have as much going on, I could have done more, a bit like I did last year, I suppose. But then the counterpoint to that is, well, there are several counterpoints to that, but the first one is I didn't do as well as I wanted to last year anyway. So, I could have prepared as much as I wanted. It could have been literally the only thing I did for the whole 10 months. But I didn't get it. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I was nervous. I, had put pressure on myself. And, I was going into like the wrong mentality and things like that. So it doesn't, like, that doesn't really matter almost. I mean, it kind of does matter, but it doesn't matter as much as I thought it would. So like last year, I did, like I said, I put pressure on myself because I thought, okay, I've done all of this practice. I've done so much practice. This might be my last shot. That's another horrible thing that I tell myself every year at this point. It might be my last shot. And so I was going into it with not quite the right frame of mind. Like obviously I cared about it and I was doing everything to, to make sure I did well because I really wanted to do well. But I don't think the mindset helped. And part of it was this, I've done so much, like I've got to make it worth it kind of mentality, which is that's something that I struggle, well, maybe not struggle with, but that's something that I sort of go down that pathway of thinking basically every time I do anything like this, like putting a load of work into stuff. I've got to make it worth it, otherwise I would have wasted my time doing all that work, which is not true, obviously, but I need to keep reminding myself of that. And this year, obviously, like I said, feeling like I haven't done enough is going to be quite hard, especially if I, feel like I could have done better. Then I'll think, oh, well, if I just had a bit more time, or if I just used my time a bit better, then maybe I could have got, a better result or something like that, which hopefully I'll avoid. And I think the main thing to think about, really, from that perspective at least, is actually I have done everything I can, really, because if like I did all of this practice. I made the best use of my time that I could, and I think I have. Like, obviously, I haven't done as much as ideally I would have wanted to in different circumstances. That's the key point. In different circumstances, the circumstances weren't different. The circumstances were what they were, and given that, I did everything I could. I haven't had anywhere near as much time this month as I hoped I would have, but given that, I still done a lot of practice in the time that I did have. And I think it will help. I hope it will help. And I think I still made the best use of that time that I possibly could have done. And I think that's true, overall. I did as much as I could, and I need to keep reminding myself of that. Because it's all very well saying, like, oh, I could have done more. But if you actually think about, like, back to those times when you think, oh, okay, I don't feel up to trying to do anything more than solve. So, like, I'm sure there will be many days not just the past month, the past like year basically, where I'll have thought I could try and do some targeted practice, but I don't feel up to it. I don't think, like, maybe I didn't think I would get much out of it, or it just felt like it was too big of a task and it would require too much thinking and I wasn't in the right state for it. And so I just sort of resorted to doing solves. But that's not a bad thing, because the difference there between me this year and me last year, where probably what me last year would have done is thought, no, I need to just do it and I'll get on and do it. And I tried doing stuff, and then because I was already in that mindset of like, I don't think this is a great idea, or like I don't feel completely up to it, then what would have happened is that would have played into my practice. I would have been like in the back of my mind, and then I would just naturally have done worse. So it's that idea of like pushing through, not feeling perfect is not the right thing to do, because you know you're not going to get what you hope you will out of it if you're not feeling up to it. And so this year, I guess subconsciously but also consciously sometimes, what I've been trying to do is think, okay, what is going to get me the most like benefit from doing right now? Because if there's something like look ahead patterns, that's the thing that I think about. There's always like quite high brain power, like needs a lot of thinking, needs a lot of active paying attention to what's going on in the solve, and like active recognition and things like that. If I'm not 100% for that, if I'm running at 50%, whatever, then that can't be worth it, because I'm not going to do well. I'm not going to do as well as I want to. But if I keep pushing through, I'm just going to have spent all of that time not doing as well as I want on something that's important, and then I won't have got as far as I should have done, or I might even go backwards. You know, I might even think, oh, this is way too difficult, burn myself out even faster. So I want to try and not do that. And so hopefully all of the things that I've done so far have been the most that I've been able to do at that point in time. And so hopefully that'll have made it worth it. So basically the upshot of this video is I need to keep reminding myself I have done all that I can. And it's not as much as I would have liked in an ideal world, but this isn't an ideal world, you know? So I've done everything I can. I'm repeating that to myself. And hopefully whatever happens, at least that mindset that I have going into it will be slightly better. So yeah, fingers crossed for this weekend. Hopefully it'll all go well. And again, if the worst comes to the worst and I don't do very well at all, again, like I had to do last year, but hopefully I could do it with a better mindset this year, is just, I'll know that whatever happens, I put all that I could into it, and I couldn't have done any more. And I didn't this time burn myself out. So all being well, it won't be like last year. So yeah, fingers crossed for that. Who knows? I have no idea what the videos are going to look like for this weekend. I'm not taking my laptop, so I won't be able to edit stuff. So I might skip a couple of days. Car going past. I might skip a few days. We'll see how it goes. But I should have something for tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, see how it goes. I will see you then.